I've actually really enjoyed learning about the history of Bangladesh.
বাংলাদেশের ইতিহাস সম্পর্কে জেনে খুবই ভালো লাগছে। আমি আসলে এতটা জানতাম না। গতকাল হাই কমিশনের কর্মকর্তা ও প্রধানমন্ত্রীর সাথে দেখা করার সৌভাগ্য হয়েছে। বেশ মজার গল্প শুনেছি। আগের চেয়ে অনেক বেশি কিছু জেনে এবার বাড়ি ফিরছি। আমি বাংলাদেশ নিয়ে আরও জানতে চাই। সামনে যখন আসবো হয়তো আরও অনেক প্রশ্ন মাথায় ঘুরপাক খাবে। বাংলাদেশের মানুষ খুবই অতিথিপরায়ণ। আমাদের বেশ যত্ন আত্তি করেছেন। বাইরে খুব বেশি ঘোরাঘুরির সুযোগ হয়নি, তবে হোটেলে প্রতিটি সকালে দারুণভাবে অভ্যর্থনা জানানো হতো। এখানে আসতে পেরে আতিথেয়তা নিতে পেরে খুবই সৌভাগ্যবান মনে করছি। বাংলাদেশ ভালো খেলেছে, বিশেষ করে বোলিংয়ে বারবার আমাদের ব্যাটিং লাইন আপকে চাপে ফেলেছে। তবে আমাদের ব্যাটিং ইউনিটের গভীরতা ভালো। আজকের কন্ডিশন মোটেও সহজ ছিল না। তারা ভালো বল করেছে। তারা দারুণ একটা দল। বড় দলের বিপক্ষে খেলার সুযোগ বাংলাদেশের অভিজ্ঞতা বাড়াবে। ইংল্যান্ড ভারতের মতো দলও এখানে এসে খেলে। আমার মনে হয় বিশ্বকাপে বাংলাদেশ বড় হুমকি হয়ে উঠতে পারে। খেলা কিন্তু তাদের ঘরের মাটিতেই। বড় কিছু দলের সামনে বাংলাদেশ ভয়ঙ্কর দল হয়ে উঠতে পারে। আমরা কোনোভাবেই বাংলাদেশকে ছোট করে দেখিনি। যেটা বললাম, তারা সত্যি ভয়ঙ্কর দল। তাদের বোলিং আক্রমণ বেশ স্কিলফুল। এই বোলিং যে কোনো দলকে চাপে ফেলতে পারে। ওয়ালিংটনে ওয়ানডে বিশ্বকাপে তারা আমাদের চাপে ফেলেছিল, তাই আমরা জানি তারা কি করতে পারে। সেপ্টেম্বর অক্টোবরে এখানে টি-20 বিশ্বকাপ হবে। সিরিজে হয়তো আমরা জিতেছি, তবে এই সফরটায় আমরা বিশ্বকাপের জন্য ভালো প্রস্তুতি নিতে সমর্থ হয়েছি। এই সিরিজ থেকে যা নেওয়া সম্ভব আমরা নিয়েছি। নেতিবাচক দিকের চেয়ে ইতিবাচক দিকটাই বেশি। এক ম্যাচে এক সিরিজে এক একজন সেরা খেলোয়াড় হয়েছে। এটা দেখে খুবই ভালো লাগছে। সবাই দলের জন্য চেষ্টা করছে। যেই সুযোগ পাচ্ছে সুযোগটা কাজে লাগাচ্ছে। মেয়েদের মধ্যে এই ধারাবাহিকতাটা দরকার। তারা এভাবেই শিখতে থাকুক। এই সফরের সবচেয়ে ইতিবাচক দিক এটাই। এই ধরনের উইকেটে প্রস্তুতি খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। তাই দল নিয়ে এখানে খেলতে পারা দারুণ ব্যাপার। আমরা এই কন্ডিশনের অভিজ্ঞতা অর্জন করলাম। সামনে বিরতি আছে। সেপ্টেম্বরে তরতাজা হয়ে বাংলাদেশে বিশ্বকাপ খেলতে আসব।
Even worse come September, October, so we'll have to wait and see what throws at us there. But I mean, that's the beauty of our schedule. We've got 4 months at home to get ourselves fit and firing and ready, and we'll hopefully be fresh coming into that, obviously a New Zealand series and then a World Cup, which I think is a huge advantage to us. I think from a Cricket Australia perspective, like an Australian team perspective, I think we got everything we possibly could have out of this trip. I think opportunities were given when necessary. Obviously the results went our way, but I think from a big picture perspective and what we're building towards in September, October, I think we got everything we possibly could out of this series. So a lot more positive than negative, which is awesome. And I think the way that the group held together as well and looked after one another, I think is even more important. So it's hopefully going to be an exciting 12 months for this group.
And Caleb Fleming, player of the match today, and Sophie Mullion, player of the series. How pleased are you with the way they've come back into this group?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I think we've had a different player of the match and different player of the series across both series, so that's been really pleasing as well. That not everybody's standing up when they need to and grabbing opportunities, which is cool. So it's obviously great to have someone like Tay back. She's a real point of difference within world cricket with the sheer pace that she bowls with. So to have her back in our side, and obviously Sophie Mulline's consistency is outstanding. So yeah, they're both real attributes to our side, and hopefully after a little bit of a break and a solid pre-season, they're going to be fit and firing, ready to go back into the year as well.
Thanks, Mitch.
No worries.
Right. What's the biggest positive that you take from the entire tour? Because this was your first ever proper bilateral tour to Bangladesh. So what do you think, or which player or which attribute would you think is the biggest positive for you guys?
I just think probably the way that our group just continually wants to evolve and learn and are driven by that. I think that's probably one of the biggest positives that I've seen come out of this tour. I mean, we had to physically take training off the schedule to stop people going because they wanted to go and train on those wickets and get better, which is amazing to have within a side. So I think that's been a real positive for us, that the way that the group continues to adapt, but also just wants to keep getting better. And obviously this World Cup keeps getting thrown around and it keeps getting spoken about, but I think the fact that we've come here, we've experienced these conditions, and we know what we need to do to take home, and we've got a break now for an extended period of time. So hopefully come September, we're really fresh, driven and obviously determined to come back here and win a World Cup.
Do you feel like this series, Bangladesh, apart from the conditions and perhaps different pitches, do you think Bangladesh challenged you enough for you to really get a grasp of where your team's at or what areas you really need to improve upon?
Yeah, I think they did, to be honest with you. In particular with the ball, I think they challenged our batting lineup. We speak quite a lot about the depth that we have in our lineup and our willingness to use it and try and figure out ways that we can best utilise, some of the power that we've got throughout the middle and the lower order. So I think definitely at times they did challenge us with the ball, and in particular today the conditions weren't easy. They set a very straight field and actually made our batters have to think about how they were going to score our runs and get us up to a total of 150, 160, which was around par, I guess, at the start of the game. So I think they're a great little side, and I think having opportunities to play against the bigger nations, and I don't say that with any disrespect, but having teams like India, Australia, England come here and play in these conditions in bilateral series, I think is going to do wonders for the confidence in particular for this group, and their belief that they can match it. But I think they're going to be a real threat come the World Cup. I mean, home conditions are a real advantage, and I think that team's going to fly under the radar a little bit, and I think they're going to be really dangerous for some of the top sides.
Yeah, from physical point of view, how draining was the series to you? Because the heat and all this things, how draining?
Very. Yeah, we've got a very tired group. Obviously, it's the end of our summer. We've played a lot of cricket over the last few months. A lot of us come straight from the WPL as well, so it's been a hectic schedule. So quite draining. The weather in particular didn't help. We've heard it's going to be even worse come September, October, so we'll have to wait and see what throws at us there. But I mean, that's the beauty of our schedule. We've got 4 months at home to get ourselves fit and firing and ready, and we'll hopefully be fresh coming into that, obviously a New Zealand series and then a World Cup, which I think is a huge advantage to us.
And when you are coming back, what kind of, I think that you have understood what this weekend offers. How helpful will this be? But the games will be serious. Yeah,
I think really helpful. I think 𝐂𝐸 obviously will pose a different challenge to us. We're not sure what it's going to look like. I think naturally being an ICC event, I think the wickets will start out being really good and then probably tire throughout the tournament. So, but we'll just have to adapt. Like I said, I've said it the whole time I've been here. Every wicket's been slightly different, and I think the group's done an amazing job at turning up, assessing the conditions really quickly and adapting. So we'll do the same thing when we come back. We've got 2 warm-up games here in Dhaka and then off to 𝐂𝐸. So we'll just assess that come the end of the year.
You guys don't play here much. Before coming here, you guys thought the series win will be so much easier like this?
No, not really. I don't think we underestimated the Bangladeshi team at any point. I think like I've said, they're a really dangerous side. They got a really skillful bowling attack that can put teams under pressure. I mean, we played them not too long ago in the 50-over World Cup in Wellington, and they had us 3 for 30 in the power play and put us under the pump pretty quickly. So we knew what to expect, but I think for us, the key takeaways from this series were 6 points out of the ODI series for that championship, and to get some experience in the T20 conditions and some opportunities to our group, and I think we achieved both of those, which we're happy with.